Do you have the uncomfortable conversations with yourself? You see, the conversations that make you feel not so good. Do you have those conversations with yourself? You know, those conversations when, let's say, someone is making you feel not so good and you're trying to find excuses. No, it's not like that. No, it's not like that. Do you have those hard conversations with yourself? I started having them. And it's because I love myself. Self love is discipline. Self love is not lying to yourself. Self love is not making you feel good all the time. You have to be able to have those hard conversations with yourself. Those conversations where you sit and you're like, oh, this and this and this and this. And you know it's not making you feel good. You know the answer you have inside is not making you feel good. But you sit there and you have that full conversation with yourself. This self-love maneno. But the interesting thing is, when you're used to having those conversations with yourself, you get to see things earlier on. So these things of, blind to red flags. It's not really blind. You just don't want to have that conversation with yourself. If you're desperate, you don't want to have that conversation with yourself. You don't want to admit you're desperate, because admitting you're desperate makes you feel even worse. The red flags you see and you just it's because you're afraid to have those awful conversations with yourself. Be at a place where you can have those conversations with yourself and also be there for yourself when you're having those conversations. When you admit you feel desperate, don't judge yourself, don't criticize yourself. Just validate yourself and find a solution. Allow yourself to vent, but also find a solution. And I'm telling you, when you're used to having those hard conversations with yourself without lying to yourself, life becomes clear. You start seeing things clear and you start trusting your intuition. That is telling you, this person, nah. And you just don't want it to be true. Ask yourself why you don't want it to be true. And the reason can be you're so desperate, you just rather have anyone, whoever, even if they're hurting you. So when you have those conversations with yourself and you come to the conclusion, okay, well, they're not making me feel good and it's because I'm desperate. So how do we deal with the desperation? Because it's the thing that's making me stay here. It's the thing that's making me find myself in this situation. So how do we deal with it? Let yourself vent. Let yourself solve. Let yourself validate yourself. Be there for yourself. Love yourself. Okay? Loving yourself doesn't mean that you won't have those hard conversations with yourself. Actually, when you truly love yourself, you'll have those conversations with yourself earlier on. And the more you do, the more you'll trust your intuition. The more you'll trust how your body feels. The more you'll trust your thoughts, your feelings, your intuition, your body, yourself. I'm a self-love alchemist. I help you transform self-hatred to self-love. I love myself so much. And when you start loving yourself, you start working on yourself. If you feel desperate, if you feel lonely, you work on that. If you feel happy, if you feel calm, you replicate that. If you feel whatever you feel, you work on it, you replicate it. Just hold yourself, support yourself, love you. Use emotions as data. So when you're having those conversations with yourself, have those emotions as data. Yeah, we're feeling this and this. Use emotions as data, even if they're making you feel the worst. Love you.